Assalamu alaikum guys. Today inshallah we'll be looking at Medinah Arabic Reader Book 1. This is a book that has been studied in the Islamic University of Medina over the past couple of years, and it is also one of the most popular Arabic books that are studied. We will be using this book to understand Arabic structure and not so much Arabic grammar, even though there are a lot of Arabic grammar that is integrated into this book. We will highlight them, we will study them inshallah, but one of the main things to understand is that this book teaches you Arabic sentence structure. Now, what does that mean? That means that Arabic language obviously is different to English language. The structure of the words in any particular sentence between Arabic and English is different. So for example, in Arabic, we can begin a sentence with a verb. In English, you can't do so. So for example, I can say, teaching is Esa Ali. You must say Esa Ali is teaching. So you must begin with a noun in English, whereas in Arabic, you can begin with a verb. So the sentence structure is different. Another example is that when you are describing words in English language, you will also put the adjective before the word that's been described. So you would say, for example, the big house, or the beautiful car, for example. But in Arabic language, it's different. It's the opposite. You would say, for example, al-baytu al-kabir, or you would say as-sayyaratu al-jamila. So the adjective comes after. So this book we'll be using primarily for learning Arabic structure and obviously some vocabulary. And where there is Arabic grammar, we will be pointing that out too. During this video, inshallah, I will also show you what I would like to call an Arabic hack, or how you would be able to learn Arabic quickly by understanding the structure of Arabic words. So let's begin first by reading these words. So I'm going to read this first slowly, and then we'll translate them, and then we'll have a deeper look into some of these words. So we have here, هذا بيت. هذا بيت. هذا مسجد. هذا مسجد. هذا باب. هذا باب. And you'd notice that at the beginning of each one of these words or sentences, you have the word هذا. And it's repeated for all of the 9 different pictures that you are seeing here. You'd see here again, هذا, هذا, and it goes all the way through. This word هذا means this. And you can also add is there. So this is, and then you've got the word. So هذا بيت. بيت means house. مسجد, mosque. باب, door. Now, if we are reading this correctly, we would say هذا بيت without pronouncing the tanween. Why? Because in Arabic language, the vowel or the last letter of the word that ends the sentence will not be pronounced. You'd pronounce it with sukoon. So you will say هذا بيت, بيت, and هذا مسجد, هذا باب, etc. And that even in Quran, when we are reciting Quran, the last word, the last letter of the last word in any ayah will be pronounced with sukoon. If we were to continue reading this, we go to هذا كتاب. هذا قلم. And if you'd like to stop this video, rewind and listen to the words again, feel free to do so. هذا مفتاح. هذا مكتب. هذا سرير. هذا كرسي. And you'd see the pictures for each one of these words. So you have هذا كتاب, and كتاب, this is book. Okay, so هذا كتاب, this is a book. هذا قلم, this is a pen. Okay, this is a pen. هذا مفتاح, this is a key. هذا مكتب, this is a desk, and there's a reason why you have someone writing on this desk, and we'll explain that in a bit. هذا سرير, this is a bed. هذا كرسي, this is a chair. Okay, now that we've completed the meaning and we have noted the meaning of all of the words, what I like to do is to introduce the pronouns that are in Arabic, because there are two different types of pronouns in Arabic. You have attached pronouns, pronouns that are attached to the word themselves, which is not found in English. And then there are independent pronouns that we are familiar with in English as well. We are not going to be looking at the independent pronouns right now, but what we would be looking at would be the attached pronouns. Now I have this table that's here, and it's showing us first person, second person, third person, then you have gender, then you have singular, dual, plural, but we will only be looking for the purpose of this class at the first person singular, which is going to give us my. Now, what does that mean? Means, for example, if I want to say my house or my book, how do I say this? Well, this is very simple. All I need to do in Arabic, if you recall the word for house is baytun, and if we just zoom into that, you'd see that the word there is baytun. Baytun. So what we do is that we have this word baytun, and we add to that ya. Okay, and this now gives us bayti. Bayti, and the ya has sukun, and this is now my house. What I would like you all now to try, after you've memorized these words, can you say, for example, my pen? How do we say that? And if you'd like to write this in Arabic in the comments, feel free to do so. My pen, my book, how would you say that? My bed, etc. And even this is my key. This is a much longer sentence. This is my desk. And if we were to try to say this in Arabic, we know that the Arabic word for pen is qalamun. So then we say qalam, we add that, and then we add the ya to the end, which gives us qalami. So we can just zoom in there, and you'd see that this is now qalami, which would give us the meaning of my pen. My book would then be, you write the word again, kitab, and you add ya to the ending, which will give us kitabi. Again, we have my bed, so you have sarir, and you add ya to the end, and that gives us sariri. Now we have another challenge, and this is a much longer sentence. This is my key. So we add here hada miftahun. We have the هذا مفتاح, هذا مفتاح, and we are now adding ya. هذا مفتاحي. Now you can tell me, how do we say this? This is my desk. We would now say that desk is maktab, if you recall. It's right there. هذا مكتب. Okay. This is my desk. So هذا مكتب, and we add the ya to the end. هذا مكتبي. So once we've done some practice there, I have one last thing to show you, and that is, you would notice that at the ending or at the beginning of some of these words, there is the letter meme. If you look there carefully, you'd see, for example, masjidun has a meme. Miftah also has meme. You'd see maktabun also has meme. Now there is a reason for that. And now we are going to be looking at the reason for these words having meme. You'd see this word, for example, has meme fatha, masjid, masjid. This word also has fatha, masjid, while miftah has kasra. Okay, now what's the reason for that? Reason is, Arabic language is built around verbs, three-letter verbs. 99.99% of the verbs that you will be learning, the root letters would consist of three. It's going to be three root letters. And these root letters, they are letters that would be added to these three root letters to then give us derivatives or other words. So I'm going to give you an example. If we were to take the word kataba, kataba, this means to write. It literally means he wrote, but let's just say for now that this is to write. If I add meme to the beginning of this, meme fatha, then sukoon, mak, ta fatha, and then the last letter may be dhamma, or it can have fathatain or kasratain. Now this is going to be maktab. This actually gives us, so don't forget that this is, let's just put here to write. Okay, and we've added meme, and it's followed by, you have fatha, then sukoon, then fatha, maktab, and this is now giving us the place in which this happens. This meme fatha, then sukoon, then fatha gives us the place in which this action happens. And if you recall, maktabun is a desk. In other words, the place in which someone writes. There's one last thing to note here, and that is this letter, or the third letter in this order, it can be fatha or it can be kasra, and we'll discuss that in another video. So, or I should say, it may be fatha or kasra. It's not going to be either. So you have, for example, seen. Let's take another example. Seen, jim, and dal. And this means to bow or to make sajda. Like when you're praying your salah, you go down, your head is onto the ground. That's sajda. If we were to do the same thing, okay, we have meme, seen, jim, and dal. And then we put fatha, sukoon, and this time it's kasra, masjid, masjid. And now this is the place in which you do sujood. In other words, the mosque, a mosque. Now we will go into some more details, some more practice, and I have some more tips as well for you for learning Arabic language. But as for today, we will pause there, and I hope to see you again soon.